So I'm about to be talking about one of my favorite tablets that I've really ever used. And it's not because it's the best tablet ever, but it's because it's such a good value for what it brings. And that is the Lenovo Yoga Tab Plus. This tablet was recently released from Lenovo, and I've got my hands on it now, and I wanted to give you my first impressions of it. So with all that being said, let's get right into it and let's talk about the Lenovo Yoga Tab Plus. So I cannot understate how good this tablet is for the money, because they're giving you some incredible specs for a very incredible price. This is a 12.7-inch tablet that recently released for $700. So they're really going after Samsung's top-end lineup. And what are they giving you in this tablet? This tablet has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. It has an amazing display. It is a 3K display. Now technically it is an LCD display, but to be honest, I had no idea because it looks so good, I really thought it was AMOLED. This has a 144 Hz refresh rate, 900 nits of peak brightness, 16 gigs of RAM, UFS 4.0 storage, 256 gigs of storage in the base model. But the big thing that Lenovo did here is providing the keyboard case and the pen with the device itself. For $700 at the retail price, that is an incredible value. Because if you look at Samsung and the Tab S10 Plus, this tablet really rivals that tablet in almost every way. Sure, you could give Samsung the nod because they do technically have an AMOLED display, but outside of that, you're going to get similar performance, you're going to have a lot of similar things here, but the big thing Lenovo provided is the keyboard, which normally would cost around $200 whenever you look at Samsung. So the Tab S10 Plus, it does cost about $1,000 as far as the retail price. The keyboard cover costs like $200, so it's $1,200 for that total package, but here for $700, you could get a flagship tablet that really only has one minor flaw in it. And I wouldn't even call the screen a flaw because it does look way better than I expected. Maybe it's the 3K resolution, or maybe it's the refresh rate just blowing me away, or the color accuracy. I'm not really sure yet. We don't even have all of the specs of the device available just yet. But I will say, I was so impressed with what this tablet brought for $700. But of course, this is just my first impressions video. I'm not gonna have quite as much fancy editing, but I wanted to show this off as fast as possible. So let's check out the design. First off, I don't know that this tablet will be available in other colors later. Who knows, but right now, we do have a silver tablet with a little white part at the top. And this is actually housing the cameras here, and it does look very elegant. I have to say that this tablet does feel very lightweight overall for the size. And just popping it on a scale in my office, it's actually 1 pound and 6 ounces. That might seem a little bit heavy for a tablet, but remember, this is a 12.7-inch tablet, and it does feel very lightweight to me. Now this tablet does have 2 speakers on each side of the tablet, but if you actually go a little deeper, they have a partnership here with Harman Kardon, and it actually has, I believe, 6 speakers actually in the tablet total. And I've got to say, my first impressions of the speakers, they are very good. I would argue that they're some of the best that I've heard out of any tablet. Extremely great speakers. Now, one negative about this tablet, it does not have an SD card slot. Maybe that's one of the minor compromises you're gonna see, but again, for 256 gigs of storage, that's pretty forgivable in the base model. This does have a fingerprint sensor in the power button. It is very fast, and I do enjoy that. In fact, I would prefer that over the fingerprint sensor in the screen. Again, this tablet does come with a stylus or a pen. It actually magnetizes to the top of the tablet. Right here, there's a little magnetic bar, and that does actually charge the pen, so you are able to use some Bluetooth features. And at the bottom of the tablet, you will see this does connect to a keyboard case. And again, this keyboard case does come with the tablet, and I would say it's actually gonna be a little bit better than what Samsung provides for the Tab S10 Plus. Plus. The keys do feel just a little bit smaller than what you find on the Tab S10 Plus keyboard, but still the keys are more than big enough for me, and the keyboard does have a little bit more travel than I've seen from Samsung keyboards. So overall, I really do like it. It also comes with a touchpad, of course, and the touchpad does seem to work really, really well. Again, I seem to have a little bit of minor issues whenever I'm using Samsung's keyboard cover, but I have not had very many issues here. It's my first impressions, but I really love this keyboard cover. Now on the back of the tablet itself, you're going to be able to magnetize this to it. Now this does magnetize, of course, right below that little white camera bar thingy there, but I will say that you're not going to get quite as much protection here because it doesn't actually protect the top of the tablet. So some of these Samsung keyboard cases, they actually do go all the way around, even up to the top. So if you do drop your device on the corner, it's going to protect it. But I will say with this keyboard cover here, there's not really going to be any protection for this part of your tablet. That is going to be one of the minor inconveniences that some people will face or that they won't like. But the keyboard cover itself, it is made of a nice feeling leather. I don't know if it's like a fake leather or not, but it feels very, very premium. I absolutely love it. Like it really feels like they put a lot of work into it. And of course, this kickstand is magnetic when it goes to the back of the tablet, but it does have a lot of different positions. So you are going to be able to keep the tablet up whenever you're using your keyboard, but also you could detach the keyboard if you want to use the tablet separately. Now, whenever we look at the tablet usage itself, just to see how it looks and how the screen looks, I've got to say the screen, of course, looks amazing. No, it is not an AMOLED display, but I am shocked by that because it does look very, very good. Maybe you're someone who's picky and you would notice that. If you are someone who has to have OLED or has to have AMOLED, then yeah, I completely understand. You might want to go with the Tab S10 Plus or a really nice Samsung tablet. But this is a terrific value for what you're getting here. And the screen looks better than any LCD screen I've really seen. So I think it looks phenomenal, and the performance is just great whenever I'm using the tablet. This does have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, UFS 4.0 storage, which will really speed things up. And again, when you're using that day to day, you're not going to notice the fact that you don't have the Snapdragon 8 Elite. Most people aren't going to notice that at all. You are really, really pushing this tablet. If you are doing that, really pushing it to the limits, I've got to say, you're still going to have a phenomenal experience. You're going to be able to video edit and do a lot of intense stuff on here. You're going to be able to game on very high settings. And for me, in my initial usage, it feels so lightning fast that it is absolutely more than enough speed for everything I'm going to do. And I'm sure it will be more than enough for most of you. So overall, so far, of course, it does have a little over 10,000 milliamps in the battery. It's going to be very similar in battery size to the Tab S10 Plus. Again, it's a little bit of a larger screen compared to the Tab S10 Plus. So you might wonder what my overall thoughts are. It seems like they're going after Samsung and their tablet lineup. They're undercutting the Tab S10 Plus by releasing a similar size tablet for $300 less. And I'm only seeing two compromises here. I'm seeing that you're not getting an SD card slot and you aren't getting an OLED display or an AMOLED display. It feels like OLED. It looks terrific. And again, maybe you're someone a little more technical. You've got that eye and you would notice it. All I know is that we get a 3K resolution display. And with that extra resolution, it really does make it look great. And the colors are so good here that I don't even notice that it's not OLED. So whenever we factor all that in, I think saving about $500, because that's what you're saving when you compare this to the Tab S10 Plus, I think it's going to be worth it. Now, I'm in the initial stages so far. Of course, I've just used the pen a little bit. It does feel a little more like a regular stylus, and maybe you don't like the fact that you charge it at the top of the device. Of course, you could hit it off the device if you're not careful, so it's a little bit harder to protect. Maybe that's something that will annoy you, or maybe you want a little bit more protection with this keyboard cover case, and maybe that disqualifies you from using the case, and that means that you're not going to want this tablet entirely. I completely understand where you're coming from. I think there are some people out there that might not want to buy this just yet. The good news is Lenovo does have another budget option. They have a smaller tablet that's going to be out there well, it's a mid-range tablet technically that's going to be out there along with the smaller 9-inch tablet. The point is, Lenovo has a lot of stuff cooking in the pipeline. But for this tablet here, for someone who wants a larger tablet for productivity, they do have a productivity mode on this device, of course. So you do have the PC mode that does allow you to get productive. There's a lot to like. It's so fast. The screen looks so great. It's going to be great for gaming. It's got more than enough RAM. You don't have to sacrifice and get an 8 gig model and then pay more to upgrade. You don't have to do anything like that. And you get plenty of storage right out of the box. So overall, this is the tablet for me. I've been waiting for something to draw me away from Samsung. There's a lot of Samsung tablets that I love, but as far as using the best tablet that I could find on Android, I've always been using Samsung devices. But truth be told, I actually prefer Google software. I do prefer how Google is with their UI and stuff like that. So getting a fresh skin as far as the Lenovo software, being able to use that in a flagship tablet is great. But the big thing that's been keeping me away from Lenovo has been the software updates. And now we get promised updates here with this tablet. They might be a little slow with it, but we are promised a little more support. This did release with Android 14, but we are promised 3 years of operating system updates and 4 years of security updates. When you mix that in with the fact that the software is really smooth, when you mix that in with everything they provided in the box, I really think Lenovo is finally starting to reach an awesome path in tablets. I'm not saying that this is technically better than the Tab S10 Plus, and whenever you factor in the sales from the Tab S10 Plus, I think it's going to go neck and neck with this. By the way, I heard that this does have an anti-reflective display, and I am not seeing a lot of reflections here in my office. So with this being an anti-reflective display, with it being a 3K resolution, it's going to be neck and neck with the Tab S10 Plus. And outside of a couple minor compromises, it's really my favorite tablet that is out right now. And it's a tablet that I plan to be using for a very long time. Again, this is just my first impressions. Things might change, but I'm having less issues with the keyboard cover compared to Samsung's keyboard cover. I like the keyboard cover a little bit more. The tablet is unique. I just like the software, and I really do enjoy everything they provide. But I think my most favorite thing is the value, because you're saving almost $500 whenever you compare the keyboard cover and the tablet with the Tab S10 Plus compared to this. So I know my first impressions videos are almost always like full reviews. I really try to go all out for you guys, but this is a very important tablet that just released. So hopefully this first impressions video does help you. Please, you could expect a full review soon. Also, I'm going to be covering that gaming tablet from Lenovo. I'm actually going to be reviewing the Walmart tablet, the Pro tablet they have at Walmart for under $200. A lot of interesting reviews are going to be coming your way, and I'm even going to make a video about my favorite tablet accessories soon. So please subscribe to my channel. Check the links in the description because I do have links to this tablet there. You could actually find it at Lenovo and at Best Buy as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave comments. I have been super busy, but I'll try to get to what I can. And I really, really appreciate my audience. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you have a great day, and I really, really hope you check out some other content, and I hope you enjoy your week as well.